Hello, hello, hello. Oh, welcome to a very, very cold morning here in Perth, Western Australia. It is got down to 5 degrees centigrade last night. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit, but it is currently in my study here. It says 19 degrees, but I don't believe that. I think it's outside. It's 12.8 degrees centigrade. And it says 19 inside. I don't believe it's 19. I think it's colder than that. My hand's cold, my head cold, but it's getting warmer with the Gucci scarf. Thing with it being silk is silk warms you up. It provides extra warmth. So yeah. So that, where's the other silk scarf that I have? Lovely one that Anne Simpson got me. Oh, you didn't hear that little toot from Egypt. So I've got a bit of French fashion and Egyptian warmth. Oh, immediately it makes a difference. Immediately, just because it's yeah. Hi, Teresa. Hey, Darian. Yeah. So I am looking forward later in the year to a trip. If I seem to be easing off personally on a certain person, because I don't want to, get booted out, but still looking at the office of the presidency and the administration and stuff. And things that I might feel needing. So let's have a look at this stoush between ridiculous stoush to Harvard and the Trump administration. Let's have a look. Thank you, Teresa. So let's have a look at the stoush between the Trump administration and Harvard. I am yeah, it's got 11 degrees and sunny. It is sunny, but I can believe it's 11 degrees outside. Hi, Apple. Haven't seen you for a little while. It's nice to see you. Hi, Uncover the News. Will Trump send ice to Harvard? It wouldn't surprise me. But there's, yeah. Hi, Becky Stone. Yeah. It's Queen of Wands. Protectiveness, fieriness. This is Harvard. Firing up. Yeah, look, there are going to be consequences to the Trump administration's actions. Putting these things out here, I mean, a quarter, something like 27% of the student body is overseas students, and this goes back to the DEI and things. So yeah, Harvard is a test case. If they can beat Harvard, they're going to go for MIT. They're going to go for what's the Columbia, what's Princeton, all those. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of dissatisfaction. This is, yeah. I do feel like this is Harvard. Harvard will win in the end, but it's going to take a while. There's the administration is just going to keep coming at them with something different, that and the other, and yeah. Um, yeah. Have a read on Trump's health. Okay. I shouldn't have reversals in this deck, but reversals have ended up being in it, not surprisingly. Um, yeah, he will, because hi, Constance Campbell. Have a look at the president's health. Messing with these institutions, he's going to be messing with Supreme Court judges from states and even federal ones. And yeah, Trump's health. There's chaos. I was reminded earlier today that the Knight of Swords is also a card of the mercenary, but it's also a card of increasing chaos, things stepping up. And we're looking at the president's health. So things are getting a bit chaotic. What's in his challenge position? Okay, it's going to be challenges for him because things are going to start happening very, very quickly. President Trump's health, it's like it's going to have more and more stuff come at him in a relatively near future, next couple of months. It's just going to be one thing after another after another. And here we have the advice is the Eight of Cups. This might be the advice he'll be given. Whether or not he will follow it is a different thing. And I think he's going to be advised, you can't keep doing it. You're going to have to stop and walk away. I do not see President Trump, number 45, doing that. I just don't see it. This is not advice he is going to follow. Basis of this reading, this is the Queen of Cups, the healer, the holder of panaceas. Panacea, of course, being the goddess of well-being. It just, he's relying on lots and lots of medications and stuff to keep him going. There is a change coming for Trump with his health. Let's have a look at that outcome. What sort of a change? Okay, this could be with his cognition. This is confusion, delusion. Yeah, not good. Possibly a downturn in his cognitive health. Hello. Got the King of Swords. leadership. This could threaten his leadership. I mean, they may not have a choice. If he won't go, they may have to use the 25th. I feel like this is a tool to be used. Why? Because he'll go from one extreme to the other. They won't tell us a lot of what's going on, or tell the American people a lot of what's going on. Yeah. Is Trump going to invade Canada? No. I do not. I can't see it. July 1. No, I can't see it. It just does not seem. Would he like to? Probably, but will he be able to? I just don't see that happening. Um, hmm. But things aren't good with his health. There are some declines and changes. And the advice really is for him to retire, because some of these changes are going to be happening very, very quickly. And the advice really is he probably should retire. But of course, he won't. So there might have to be some institutionally wrought changes because of extremes in behaviour and stuff. Noticed he took aim at South Africa. He just, yeah, dragging Australia into that little mess he made there too. Because Western Australia, especially, it does attract a lot of South Africans, similar climate and a lot of and people from that region do tend to move to Western Australia. And yeah, he's like, yeah. Let's just say there's another country that has put the US on their not so friendly relationship list. Let's have a look at what's in store for the administration this week, the Trump administration. I am a lot better. I've been really resting my knee a lot last year. Anyone who might have seen me last week, looking like a beach whale, or my own particular version as Jabba the Hutt, I had to rest my knee. I had a cortisone injection the day before, and it was, complete rest. So, hi, Human Generic. Hi, I'm Steve. So what energy is there for the Trump administration? Um, oh, isn't that awful about that young couple? Um, that's not the way. That's not the way to gain attention to a cause. Also, we're at a please send thoughts and prayers to the people in the north coast of New South Wales going through awful flooding. 4 people have died so far. The rain looks like easing up, but the rain stopping is just part of the problem. It's not the end of it. Having been on cleanup duty after massive floods myself, yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, no. Oh, I think I've got a handle on these decks, and this one's all over the place. Let's have a look. I feel like I've been slowly disintegrating with over the last couple of months, haven't I? I just feel like that sometimes. I haven't been. It's just been stuff after stuff after stuff. But it's like you think you've finally got a handle on things, and it's like, oh God, look at this. Even just something as annoying as the card not always facing the same way in the deck, because with the Mac stupidly. In my case, is Trump going to let terror attacks happen? Not deliberately, but, well, let's just say it's going to depend on what the chatter is about. Yeah, and that's not a best way. Will he put more resources into attacks on US soil? Probably not. Yeah. So, I think he might send somebody else. He might send Vance or somebody for the G7. Let's have a look at the Trump administration for the next week. Seven of Coins, not reaping the rewards that they felt they're going to get. This has got reversals in it, this deck. So for this coming week, the payoff is not going to be what they thought it would be. Yeah. What's the challenges? Oh, we've got the Six of Swords. Instead of heading into calmer waters, it's going to be the reverse. Waters are going to get choppier. Things are going to get a bit messier. More challenges popping up. I'm talking about the administration overall here. I'm not talking about the office of the presidency. Okay, so the advice here is just accept. Look, the advice here, you're going to have to accept that this is the result of the actions you've been putting out there, and your strategies aren't necessarily working. Else, Page of Wands. So there's definitely going to be some messages, a lot of messages at the base of this reading for this week. And it is about the outcome of the efforts that they've been putting in. And it's not going to be very good messages for them. It's definitely, you know, you're putting out that bad juju, it's coming back. No, unfortunately, she's a true believer, Caroline Levitt. I don't think there's a line she won't cross. Do I see DeSantis getting rid of the property tax clause that could have approximately plus the tariffs on top of that to replace the income? Thank you. Possibly. I don't quite get what you. What I think DeSantis could get rid of it, but I think even if he does, it'll be brought back in by a later state administration. Yeah. The Trump administration outcomes here. We've got the Queen of Queens. So the Queen of Queens should be giving and sharing. But I feel like this is not putting that there. The Two of Wands, their strategies are not going to work. Hi, Sabrina Fell. Yeah, I am. Last week, I just had to rest my knee, and it was still a bit, still a bit. Even though the anesthetic was supposed to wear off in 8 hours, I was still feeling a little bit tired, and so I did my impersonation of a beached whale. Yeah. So their strategies, total block in their strategies, not working. So this is the Queen of Coins being comfortable and luxuriating in riches is not, this is not as, that's their hopeful outcome, but it's going to be tainted by strategies not working. Yeah, dissatisfaction, total dissatisfaction, just totally total unhappiness with how things are working out. Why isn't this working better? Why isn't the economy recovering? Well, we know. We've got the Knight of Wands. Now, this is interesting. The Knight of Wands is often an investigator, sent out to do things. But Wands is also about creativity, inspiration. Going on with that Knight of Wands. The sword. Okay, there's going to be a few glaring home truths coming out with this. Yeah, I had my knee shot full of cortisone too. Yeah. Oh, the military parade. Trump get his parade. Yeah, will Trump get his parade? Um, Eight of Cups. This is saying no. Can abandon the idea. Why are they abandoning the idea? Is there something going to happen? The King of Coins, King of Pentacles. Well, this is, of course, it's Trump. Be happy about it. Page of Cups. News that he's not going to be very happy about and not take well with the Page of Cups. Could some conflict be stirred up? Where it just be totally tone deaf to do that. Light at the end of a tunnel. Why is it going to be abandoned? Oh, the whole world. Nobody's going to show any interest. He's going to invite a whole lot of people, I think, and they're just going to go, well, no, we've got other things. Not warranted. Yeah. Yeah. Where they can track it down, yeah, where they can, they will. The companies are going to have to chase that down for a while because the government won't. With the MC was saying he's being inundated with AI marketing fraud, making it look like celebrities are promoting various medical cures, and of course those celebrities are they're going to have to chase that down themselves. Vital Queens. Yeah, I think, but yeah, so the government's not going to help them. They're going to have to deal with it themselves. Handle on that harsh consequences. Yeah, there's going to be lots of fines and lots of payouts ordered, but a lot of these, yeah, it's just going to end up a bit of a mess. This is back to Trump's parade coming to a complete stop. The Knight of Coins reversed. I think there's a chance that it might not happen due to some conflict, introduced conflict or new conflict. I think something might happen with, which I hope it doesn't, because to make it just totally inappropriate and tone deaf, which he wouldn't care about, but others might. So I hope that there's not a major event happening that might stop it. Yeah, what about Kentucky? All my thoughts go out to the people of Kentucky that were hit by those violent storms. Um, mm, yeah, yeah. I certainly hope that nothing happened that warrants in cancelling the event, but I think there might be a few. Hopefully, some people will listen. Hi, Shelby, Lisa. We're definitely going to have a get together sometime soon and have a bit of a chat on Jitsi Link. Yeah. Sorry, just pulling this a bit tighter. There we go. Yeah. Started a bit early today. So let's have a look at the office of the presidency. What is in store for the office of the presidency this week? Done the administration. I have had a look at Trump's health. Yeah, not good things happening there. You don't wish harm on anyone, illness or harm or anything. It's just, well, I don't. It's just not my way. But yeah, there's a lot wrong. Yeah. So we've got the lovers. So now we're looking at the office of the presidency, and it seems like it looked like Elon Musk was shadowing being the shadow president. It's not him, but he's got a new partner, and I think we might know who that might be. Mr. Miller, I don't have any Palo Santo or anything here, so I won't read on him today. Oh, you made, yeah. Oh, let's all root for 23rd of your mum's 99th birthday. Happy birthday, Steve's mum. Let's get it to 100, eh? Yeah. Justice. Okay. Now, the justice is in the challenge position for the office of the presidency. So that is justice blocking him, basically. Now we've got the Queen of Wands, and this is interesting. I looked at, first thing I looked at today was the Stoush with Harvard, and the Queen of Wands came up. So the advice in the advice comment is the Queen of Wands. Be prepared to deal with very protective creative and institutions that are protecting themselves and will take whatever step necessary to protect themselves. At the base of this reading for the presidency, now, 9 of Wands reversed. He's slowly getting beaten down here. He thinks he thought he's almost got there, but that inability to make that last big step. Again, he's going to get some news, emotional news. That could do with his health. And health can affect the presidency, of course. Now we've got the 5 of Wands conflict reversed, increased conflict, increased deterioration amongst conflict. This is not healthy to pay. This is conflict. More messengers. More messages. This is messages about the people speaking. That's what I got going through my head. Now we've got the strength. Now this is the outcome was the Page of Cups. News, emotional news. I'd like to say that the man will be. I don't see this as, even though it's upright, this is appearances. He's going to double down on appearing strong and appearing tough. Yeah. How will Charles III's visit go? Is Trump angry Charles was invited to do the throne speech? Well, it shouldn't be. It's got nothing to do with it. Oh, she's doing a lot behind the scenes. Ivanka Trump is doing a lot behind the scenes. But she doesn't want the appearing publicly to do it, because if things go south with her father, she wants to be able to distance herself. King Charles's visit to Canada. Queen of Swords. I feel like there's going to be some clearing of the air. So there's definitely going to be some frank conversations happening. The Four of Queens. Yeah. No, the Six of Queens. Lots of sharing of ideas. Lots of validation of ideas. But this is also significant because I do not think the US is going to play this huge role that the Trump would like them to play, because there might be a bit of an exercise in freeze out. Oh, there's going to be some very, very important things decided at this conference that are going to have longer term importance. With that 10 of Coins, that is a card about legacies as well. I do think that possibly JD Vance will go in Trump's stead. Now we've got the Queen of Queens reversed. The atmosphere, the general consensus is going to be, yeah, this is the King's visit, and he's going to be, his message is not going to be how we can pad our wealth and all that. It's how we can how we shouldn't hoard. It should be and that plays in with the sixth. What we can do to help other countries and things like that, and places that need our help. That's going to be a bit of a focus there. With the King, and also there's going to be some messages about unjustifiable actions that is going to be discussed. How justice is not being served. I've always liked Charles. Boo me if you want, but I've always liked him. Yeah. I think like more social justice in economies. Like how social justice isn't being served in economies here. It's just like how it's yeah, how money is being used to allow injustices to happen when it should be used to tamp down on those injustices. Okay. Kermit the Frog. Did Kermit the Frog give the commencement address? Hi, Patricia Francino. It's gonna be a pretty going to be a lot coming out of that conference. Not everyone is going to be happy with the emphases, with what areas are being emphasized and things like that. Um, Anyone else got any questions? So it's going to be an interesting week. Lots of challenges um, in the air. Okay, how about we do some personal readings? Um, Trump go after girls. I think that's a given. I really do think that's a given. Yeah. Will Trump go after girls playing on guys' teams? I think that's a given. I mean, it's yeah. Let's have a look. How about we do some personal questions? Okay, so who wants a question? Who has a question for themselves? We'll do some personal questions. Put your hand up or type your question. I'll do 3 cards on each one. Hmm. Sabrina, does your mum have a message for you? Okay, let's have a look. Let's have a look at. Message for you. Both of those truth and I've got a couple of cards have fallen out here. We've got the King of Cups and the Five of Wands. Yeah, now's a time to be balanced and mature, because conflict is emotional balance is really important. And there's like either the conflict you're dealing with, Sabrina, or there's a conflict coming up. It's really important to maintain your emotional balance and it's time for a little soul searching. I'm really honed into the soul searching, like whether that's something your mum might have said to you or similar to it. It might be time for you to step back and search your soul a little bit about this, Sabrina. So that's the messages from your mum that there's, with conflict even now or in the near future, you've got to be find your emotional balance, and you might need to do a little bit of soul searching, darling. I hope that makes sense. What doll? Oh, Annabelle. People, for those who don't know about the actual Annabelle doll, she's not like in the movie. She's actually a Raggedy Ann doll. So, yeah. Is your house at risk? Steve. There may be some discord there or some conflict. And there may be some delays. Is it at risk? Yes or no? Yeah, you're right. It's a little bit of tight squeeze. The facility cost and all that is no, but yeah, there has been a little bit of lack of planning. You weren't expecting her to, have 2.5 years there and stuff, and she could have another year or so. Sit down. Yeah, the lack of planning means that I don't see it being at risk, but you've got to sit down and replan things and maybe see what you can do to leverage the house somewhat, either a personal loan or something, or a loan. thinking there's still a lot of stuff there from your mum's day estate sale, basically. Maybe it's just because I'm totally hooked on Curiosity Inc. It's a guy in Canada. He goes in and he does house clearances and all that to help people clear the houses and all that. And he pays to go in, and he'll pay some and do some clearing out and stuff. And yeah, and he'll pay a lump sum. And if you want some things to remain, you mark them and stuff. So I would say that you've been sort of delaying a bit, and there might be some discord and conflict with your siblings and stuff there. So you're going to have to sit down. You're going to have to do a plan of action. But an estate sale might help with all that. Okay? So, yeah. Anyone else got a question? So, yeah, Steve, sit down, get you out a new plan. Yeah. You weren't planning on it being in there as long as she had and stuff like that. But once elderly people are put in homes and stuff like that, and we thought my mum was going to pass away, living on herself by herself and stuff, and not looking after herself. And over 2 years later, she's, since she's went into the home, she's being care she never had before and stuff like that. So yeah, senior management, yeah, that is such a good piece of advice, Lisa. Yeah, definitely do that. So yeah, a bit of lack of planning there, but there are ways you can sort it. And estate sale, I think, I just feel like that will really bring in some nice bucks to help with costs. Okay. Who else has a question? And yeah, like I said, I don't think the house, you're in danger of losing it, but there's things you can do to help offset the cost with the house. So yeah, you've got to just, yeah. New COVID variant has been detected in the US. I think I'm going to have to make some appointments for us to go and get shots. I need to get a flu shot too. Hi, Constance Campbell. What do you need to know right now, Constance? I do full readings, of course, if you want to book a reading with me. A 1 hour reading face to face like this. I use Jitsi Meet, which is a very easy thing to do. And it's $30 US. So let's have a look. What does Constance Campbell need to know? Got the Hanged Man reversed. No, the Hangman upright. I always get that mixed up. Yeah, take the Eight of Cups reversed. And the Star upright. Okay. I feel like stop putting what you want on pause for other people. Okay. It's got letting go of waiting. okay, and self-sacrifice. It's your time, okay? But one of the reasons you've been putting things on pause all the time, saying, oh, such and such needs my help at this time, is that you're a little bit afraid of taking those steps that can lead to changes in your life. But it's time to let go of that fear too, Constance Campbell. So stop putting yourself on pause. Stop finding reasons to put yourself on pause. And yes, it is because you want to avoid changes and you're a little bit afraid that if you take these steps, it might not work out. But hey, you know, um, but there's really good things are waiting for you. So don't fear the change, okay? It's time to stop putting things on hold. At first, it was for other people, but now it's like an excuse because you're a little bit afraid of change, and change can be scary. But go for it, my darling, and there's some good things ahead for you. And it'll be really clear, it'll be really healing for you too to make those changes. Okay? Yeah. Did you lose the light? What's going on? The lights weren't on at your local airport. Yeah, there's going to be more of those sorts of things. Um, yeah. Mhm. Who else would like a reading done? Three cards. Sources aren't going to mainstream media anymore because they're not sure it's going to get out. So they're going to places like the Midas Touch and, Democracy Docket and things like that. So, yeah, which I suppose I shouldn't mention. Hubby is a bit worried that we'll hop off the cruise ship and get deported straight back to Australia. Look back a few people, airplane crash. Was there a plane crash? You had a Cessna with a six on board crash. Oh, the Cessna plane crash. Line of Wands. They're just struggling. They're just struggling to maintain things. And as a result, more people have died. And if things aren't addressed, there's going to be more happening, basically, at the airport. Yeah, with more crashes and things like that. Um, Big changes. Yeah, this is transitions. Yeah, they're going to have to start making real decisions. Fog, no lights. It was a. Let's look at it this way. The lights played a big role in it. So did the fog combination. Is there a message, Teresa? Um, yeah. Um, yeah. Is there a message from your older sister who passed 2 months ago? I'm so sorry for your loss, Teresa. Yeah, that's not going to work. That really is not going to work. Musk is not going to get that control. Um, okay, Teresa Hadarian. Message from her sister. Wow, talk about choices. You're going to have to make some choices too. Okay. Excitement. Then the Ten of Cups reversed. Okay. It's going to be a bit of a mixed bag over the next couple of months, Teresa. There is the excitement of something new happening, a new project or new growth. But you're also going to be making some choices and decisions, which might you're going to have to make some choices and decisions, which might not sit happily with some members of the family. Um, the words came into my head, Teresa, and I don't know if this means anything to you, is I'm sorry I left a mess. I don't know if that means anything to you, but it does mean that it's like a feeling like I'm sorry I put this on you. Um, it's like take inspiration and be strong and be creative and have take the initiative. Uh, but yeah, sorry she left a bit of a mess, which is yeah. I don't know if that makes sense to you, Teresa. Yeah. Hi, Maureen. How? So it's like feels like you've got all this good stuff coming up, but with that, you're going to have to be dealing with some other things and making decisions which aren't going to make some people happy, and she feels a little bit not the best about that. So yeah, I don't know if any of that makes sense to you. Yeah. Maybe it's something that's yet to come out. I don't know, Teresa, but yeah. But you can handle it, my darling. Hi, J Cat Lady. You'd like a reading, just a general one, yeah? Yeah, for the next few months, I'll do some political thing, but I also want to do a few more like personal, edge a bit more towards the personal as well for a while. Okay, it's definitely time to release some pain and move on. For your own emotional healing, find some forgiveness. 10 of Pentacles. Um, and why? Because family history. Yeah, the family history that may have come out. It's time to move on a bit from some of it. And then there's the Queen of Pentacles, nurturing, practical, generous, welcoming. You are all those lovely things. Now, I have felt, J Cat Lady, for a while that you have been going through a bit of a rough time. I'm going to say spoil yourself a little bit. You deserve it. Spoil yourself. Yeah, it's definitely, some family history has been dug up or will be dug up, and it's come with some pain, of course, and it's time to move on and heal and forgive, I suppose, and give yourself for not knowing, if that makes sense to you. And yeah, look, it's time you nurtured yourself for a little bit and looked after yourself and spoilt yourself for a little bit. And they don't have to be big, grand things, just little things. Take the time to do the little things that you'd like to have done, but you've sort of been putting off or whatever. So it's time to move on with healing. And, you can't change family history in the past, but you can. It might actually explain a few things and help with some healing as well. So look after yourself. Hi, Annie, my lovely friend Annie from New South Wales. I don't think you guys are caught up in the flood area and all that sort of stuff, are you, my darling? But I hope any of your family and friends who are doing okay. Oh, my throat's dry. It really is. Got any of that water left? No. Got some here. I'm doing some personal readings. Yeah, all's going fine. I had a rough few weeks with having the accident at work and falling over and splitting my head open. Got a new scar there. Then I got a cortisone shot last Friday. I've been resting up my knee as well as possible, working from home and resting up my knee, and just to give it the best chance. Yes, there are. Yeah. I hope that what I did makes sense to you, J Cat Lady, and helps. I am about guidance, not instruction, and yeah. So let's hope it guides you through. Um, yeah. So who else would like a reading? Yeah, I mean, I want to catch up with Shelby and Anne and Anne W and Simpson. Please send Anne Simpson some energy, having recently lost her mum a few weeks back, a month or so back, and Yeah. You didn't realise I did what, J Cat Lady? I'm doing 3-card reads today, Anne, but yeah, just a general, or you got a specific question? And W. Freedom. Your awareness, release, surrender, survival, liberation, escape. I feel like what you've been looking for is coming towards you. But it's a bit of a mixed bag. There is some sadness and some disappointment with the 5 of Cups. So you've got the 8 of Swords, finding your way through. Hi, Sheila. Yeah, I did. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I feel, yeah, I feel like you're feeling a bit of sadness and stuff. But you know what? This is you're finding your way out of that. But be careful, okay, not to overspend. Okay, don't go from one extreme to the other. Okay, if that makes sense. Oh no, it wasn't Anne W who lost her mum. It was Anne Simpson. Yeah, but it is heartbreaking. Yes. Um. mm, yeah. So Anne W. Yeah, just a bit of a rough time, but you're coming towards the end of it. Maybe things didn't quite go 100% as you planned, but yeah. You'll do okay. Oh, thank you, Denise Trudeau. That's lovely. Thank you. Much appreciated. How you going, Sheila? Ah, yeah. I feel like I should be doing a little bit more with you guys as well. Could still be doing some events and looking at some political stuff as well. You're tired, darling. Oh. Mm. So it's going to be an interesting few months. And yeah, I've never been one for going into too much hyperbole and stuff anyway, but I do joke around and stuff. But yeah, absolutely. Yes, we do want to do that. I do want to get together with Medium Sheila. We'll sort something out. Yeah. Hopefully, Shari Voices from the Swamp. Hopefully, I'll be able to catch up with her in person too. So yeah, so we've got some things happening. We're going to have an extra day in New Orleans, one more day than we thought, because I yeah accidentally extended our stay, and we can't. If we cancel that night or try and move or anything, we'll lose like several $100. So yeah, so, yes. Um, Possibly, Annie, we might have a chat tomorrow. How about you email me with the time that's good for you? I'm thinking maybe about 5 o'clock your time or something like that. Oh, hang on. Yeah, the footy will be finished. So, yeah, about 5 o'clock New South Wales time, which is 3 o'clock my time tomorrow. Yeah, we were deciding what to do, whether we should, make it an extra day to the drive over or stuff. And then she says, how about we just have an extra day in New Orleans? And I'm like, yeah. All right. Well, how about 6 p.m. then? 6 p.m. your time. That would be good. We'll do that. And I'll send you an email. I'll put it in my phone now so I don't forget. Annette. Oh, yeah. I'm just going to add something to my calendar for tomorrow. 4 p.m. calendar. 25th. Had an event. Did see me. With and W. Not going to be an all day thing. Four p.m. There we go. I've done it. Yeah. So you're what? You're still 3 hours ahead. All right. Well, we'll change it to. How about 3:30? You're still on daylight saving time over there. Um, Annie. Yeah. So 3:30 is 6:30 p.m. So yeah. Who else would like a reading? No. How about you email me a time? Oh no, you're not on. No, you're not on. Perfect. 6:30 your time. Okay. So you're not on. So that's 4:30. I'll work it out. I'll work it out, and I'll send you a text. Not a text, an email with the link. So keep an eye out for it. Wow. Well, New Orleans is one of the things we can talk about, shall we? Choose 535 Apple. Okay, let's do 3 cards for Apple. General or a question, Apple? You have a question? Head of Wands. You don't have to have a question. No, you have a question. Okay. I've got the card, so tell me your question. looking for work, had offer but didn't have my birth certificate. Will I get a new offer soon? Okay. Right, this is really interesting. Too many burdens, extra responsibility, duties, obligation, burning out. Yes, you have had some struggles getting work. Um, you're going to have some choices. Anyway, now we've got the Ten of Wands. So you've really been feeling the burdens and all that and duty, and you've really been struggling. And sometimes you felt like maybe just giving up a little bit, but don't do that. Hang in there, my darling. Um, and it's like, um, hang in there. We'll talk to you tomorrow, Annie. But there's some choices coming up for you. So, yes, you are going to get some more offers later. Yeah. Yeah, I think it'd be a really good idea if you're living in the US, if you're in the US and you're born, get a copy of your birth certificate. I think that a lot of registries are going to be inundated with requests for copies, but I think it's a good idea. But yeah, there's going to be some choices coming up for you, and you'll be weighing up some really good options. Okay, you might just yeah, you just don't give up. It's just going to take a little bit longer. Also, get an original social security card. Yeah, 2 months. Yeah, you'll be okay. Show the order. Okay, show that you've ordered it. If you have a copy, uh, get that or something showing your birth date and stuff, and show that you've ordered the certificate as well. And yeah, but yeah, there are some options and some choices coming up for you, and I do feel that you will get a job. Yeah, the copy was not satisfactory. Yeah, okay, fair enough. But you can, yeah, but there's somebody else who's like, show them that you've ordered the new one. So even if if the new one is not there on time, if you show them that you have ordered it, show proof that you have ordered it when you ordered it, yeah, I think you'll be able to work. There's going to be a couple of choices for you coming up, even if this one didn't work out. Don't give up. Um, Stay out of that bed. Having been stuck in bed for a good part of a week, it's like, oh my god, it can be really hard. And sometimes you feel like you just don't, especially when it's cold. You don't. Yeah, you've got that proof of the order. Yeah. So yeah, so I think next couple of options that come around, you'll be sorted. I mean, by the time these job choices do come around, good chance you'll have the certificate by then. So it might be still a couple of months, but don't give up. Hang in there. Um, yeah, it'll work out for you, Apple. Hey, look, guys, my throat's getting very, very dry. So I've almost been on an hour and a half. So if I'm happy to do a couple more readings before I hop off for the week. I'll be doing some more personal stuff with you guys, more personal readings and stuff, and with tarot and things. But I will still do some political stuff. Yeah. I think it might be, yeah. Thank you, Shelby, Lisa. I think it might be a good idea to pop over. If you can, pop over and pick it up in person. You'll get it quicker. But it certainly won't hurt to have a new copy. Yeah. J Cat Lady. But I feel popping over to Louisiana might be a good idea. Yeah, no, it might be quicker for you to pop over and get it. Hi, Bora 333. How are you, my darling? I'm going to be wrapping up in a few minutes, but if you would like a personal reading, please, I'm doing 3 cards today for people. Yeah, it might be a bit better for you to pop over. If you are going to order one, yeah, make sure it might be, yeah. Oh, thank you, my darling. I feel like I'm climbing out of a few months where I had quite a few things happening, and yeah, just get over one hurdle and another happens and stuff like that. So yeah, it's good. Human generic going to find it. That's right. You were looking for somewhere to buy. Judgment. Again, judgment. Keep your ears open. Human generic breakthrough. There is a place coming up for you. Yeah. Oh, yep. Sudden change. Yeah, it's going to be really quick. And it's going to feel like maybe the human generic that the rug's been pulled out from under you. A bit of an upheaval, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. It might be because you might have to move quicker than you thought, but there is stuff going to, yeah. Human generic. So, yeah, there is going to be a bit of an upheaval here. But there is a breakthrough coming as well. Okay, and success. But it might be happen a bit quicker than you realize, and it might be a little bit upsetting, like a bit of an upheaval, but final decisions, yeah. Wake up call, yeah. So things might happen a bit more suddenly than you expect, but everything will be okay. So oh, yeah, we carry everything. Oh, I think it might depend on the state too, Sheila. But we carry, especially when we're traveling, we carry everything on us. We don't leave anything sitting in anything, like all that important stuff. It's on us, like it's under our clothes or whatever. Anyway, my darlings, I'm going to wrap it up now. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for the donations. Very much appreciated. And I will be back next week, and I will talk to you next week. Shelby, Lisa, we will get together in the next week or so, sort something out. Yeah, I'm going to go now. Be safe, be strong, be healthy, be happy, be loving, and above all, my darlings, stay laughing, laugh every day, and if you can, laugh with a stranger. Okay, bye-bye. Anna, made it.